Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Olinga, and I'm going to be speaking to you about MiValues. This is a project that is focused on the hearts and minds battle going on in the retail and brand space. The problem that brands, which whether it's corporate, NGOs, even religions, government, are finding it difficult to communicate directly with audiences because 20% of this messaging lands and 80% does not. Campaigning, advertising, broadcasting no longer work. It is more problematic amongst the younger generation, what we call the Gen Z. Generation Z are 8 to 23-year-olds who decide everything based on values, less so on their wallets. The way financial value is transacted is as a someone loses, someone gains. I lose it, you gain it. But shared value transaction means we both gain. I smile at you, you smile back, we both happy. No one has lost happiness. This is proving to be a challenge for brands. And so they move now primarily 80% of the time through key opinion leaders, celebrities, and influencers, in the hope that as they get to the meta world, they can go from the physical paradigm, which is where they broadcast using data scraping and sentiment, to get to know you completely by understanding your values and your ideology. But how to do it? This problem is even bigger with 8 billion people around the world with 8 billion unique sets of values, 8 billion metaverses. Generation Z, in fact, have four IDs on average, one for their gaming, one for their friends, one for the family, etc. So this is a big challenge. And these communities have built big barriers for brands so that they cannot communicate directly to them. But the battle for minds and hearts remain. Fortunately, that is our entire strength at MiValues. We are the world leaders in value measurement, in transaction and delivery, not just value, but values. So we are able to map our value scale that we have built over 10, 12 years and expressed in many applications around the world on the minds and hearts battle that's out there because brands are trying to get to the minds and thoughts of the people, but they need to get to the hearts, which usually focus on the larger issues around the world, like climate change, poverty, etc. The degree of challenge is immense. We've written a 56-page white paper, and that's our 15th white paper to explain it, and it's a business plan. But to give you an idea that if you wish to go through an influencer and have impact, you need to also look at opinion and truth, which are not the same thing. Alignment means it can go viral, the message, and misinformation and conspiracy. So this is not easy to do. So how do we create a one-to-one relationship built around our values at scale? So our strength is using blockchain technology. I was the world's first professor in blockchain, in fact. And we effectively want to go from a one-to-one relationship, where the influencer currently has one relationship with one consumer, to a one-to-many relationship so that you can scale it and sustain. The way we do it is we have built a platform that allows the brands and key opinion leaders to engage around social missions like net zero, like child poverty, like food and animal welfare, etc. MiValues captures the unity of these parties together through NFTs, an image, video, text, audios, creative content, which we can then NFT and lease back to the retailer, who can use it for about $1 a day per outlet. MiValues then distributes 25% of revenues back to the celebrity, 25% to the social mission, but we retain 50%. We have, of course, well on the way to build our platform, but it's composed of elements we have been running for over a decade. So the challenge to our brands is that do not second guess your customers' values. We can tell you and connect you to their biggest influencers using our algorithms. At the data end, we capture first the transaction value in terms of dollars. We add and measure their social mission, their ideology, their values through our algorithm. And we also look at the degree of brand alignment, again, through our algorithms. And together, we're able then to offer the brand a set of goals. First, they have to tell us if they wish to have their existing customers or new customers online, if they wish and to what degree they wish to penetrate those customer communities, which celebrities and influencers they wish to engage with, and their own brand value. What we then deliver back through our secret sauce, if you like, is a increase in their revenues and increase in the lifetime value of those customers. Of course, those in China will be very familiar that companies like TikTok and Weibo already use KOLs to sell primarily into those markets, but they do not do it through values, only through data and sentiment. And we believe this is the next big thing in that sector. In China, where the market's worth around 15 billion, the same as all the countries in the West put together, 70 to 80% use influencers. Unfortunately, we are strong in both areas. So a little bit about us. Although we may have one super universal algorithm we have developed in over 13 years now, I believe, we do have a lot of adoption. 200,000 international members, around 40 universities, 400 academics. MiValues itself is a startup in Estremoz in Portugal, and we have already at pilot stage, and we have a pre-money valuation of 15 million based on a 5 million raise that we're looking for. The headquarters has been bought, and we have putting, I should say, an NFT gallery like the one we have in the UK to actually start showcasing some celebrity NFT and to test some of these ideas. The team we've put together consists of guys with great retail experience, as you can see from our COO, with major brands, senior bankers. My wife, in fact, is a senior banker with 30 years at Barclays Bank, representing 35 million credit card holders, and cybersecurity for the UK, transacting 385 billion a day. Alison, our non-exec, is a senior exec, a COO at State Street Bank and JP Morgan and Citigroup, all in Japan. So we are quite experienced. I am the developer of the metric, which the Vatican has recognized as the fastest adopted impact metric in the world. And I was indeed the world's first professor in blockchain, and I have a few other accolades in this area. Our team is backed both in China, as you can see, but all around the world, lawyers and accountants and strong management of around 25 people. We have partnerships. I am chair also of ISO World in Vietnam, which has got the world's first NFT retail contract with a multi-outlet retailer in Vietnam, representing 5,000 brands. I'm also chair of the Bureau of Media, Data and Ideology based in New York that works with major social media companies, both in the East and the West, to look at fake news and truth. I sit on the blockchain committee of MOFCOM in China, and of course we have our own UN. So we forecast around $100 million of gross profit in year 5. Now you may consider that to be very high, but actually our competitors in this area who have no values metrics, like Cameo, already reached $100 million revenue in year 3 and $1 billion revenue in year 4. So as you can see, we're in a mainstream sector. We have been doing this work for a long time, and we're well established and well recognized internationally. Our vision is to build first a KOL market, then move on to a metaverse market in 2025, and finally to develop a genome of values, like a Google of values, by 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time and attention to this.